Hi, welcome back to Elevate Up Plus Lessons from the Sherpa. Today I'm going to talk about the power of belief and why belief matters. And to kick us off, there's a great quote that'll really key in on what I'm going to talk about today. It's from psychologist Nathaniel Branden. He says, "If I am convinced that one of the most helpful things we can do for people is to refuse to buy into their inappropriately restricted views of their limitations." Refuse to buy into these restricted views of their limitations. Today we're going to talk about why belief is really the core foundation, the pillar to everything else that takes place in our life. We call this below the surface, or if you ever heard the iceberg of the things that are invisible, the things that we cannot see. Often on the outside are the people in our lives is the observable, the things that are above the surface, and that's where we see, say, our behaviors and our results that stem deeply from belief, our belief system. Let's look at this together, because you think about what do we think often results in our life come from. Most of us don't spend time looking at where's the source root, where's the source cause of that, where's the source place. And I look at the power of belief, that the way I believe about myself and others is how I will act. Notice how belief drives our values, which drives our thinking, which then drives our emotions, leading to our behaviors or our actions, and then ultimately the results that we have. There's a great term that one of my friends, Andy Holloway, that I mentioned on a recent podcast episode, I had him actually on an interview, and I highly recommend you check that out. He talks about one of the things I do every day, Steve, is I clean. I do cleaning in the morning. And I was like a broom. I'm sweeping away, because every day we're bombarded by these negative over positive, these core beliefs, these negative things that we constantly believe in ourselves, about others. And this cleaning is I'm sweeping out anything that's judgment, anything that I need to forgive, anything I need to let go of, anything I need to be able to clear the way, so that I can actually step into my day with more possibility, more love, more abundance, more of a sense of just enjoyment, almost like stepping into the day like a kid does. The sweeping, I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to clean up here. I'm going to clean my heart and clean my mind. And that's a huge piece that I love how Andy shared that word cleaning. Because if I don't clean my house, clean my thinking, clean my belief, then it's hard for me to then step into what's going to need to be done at the root level, the root cause of my belief. Notice how things that we can start to do, and I mentioned this in a recent podcast about things that I can actually do that'll help me to reprogram these negative core beliefs into positive, is I call it three things. I'm going to declare, I'm going to design and designate how these positive core beliefs, these truthful core beliefs take place in my life. Declaration. One of the cool things that I love to do with myself and clients is I declare, I am a good father. I am a good husband. I am a good provider. I am a good citizen. I am a good, fill in the blank. This idea of I believe, I declare myself, the Declaration of Independence, right? I declare something to be true. I'm speaking good. I'm speaking something of good into existence, overriding the negative core belief, right? But I still need to do the clearing, because if I don't clear, it's like what Steve Hardison, ultimate coach Steve Hardison says, I'm putting frosting on dog poop. I must do the work of cleaning so then I can declare who I am. And the next part then is design. Design that into your life, like Marie Kondo style. I have things on my wall, make each day your masterpiece. A painting of Michael Jordan that my dad painted for me when I was only 13. I have pictures of my grandpa that fought in World War II in Pearl Harbor. Things that help remind me of who I am. Notice who I am, whose I am, and the purpose of why I'm here. Ultimate belief, who I am and my purpose. And I want to design it. I want to put it around me in my space. So I know who I am. I put it around me to remind me. And then I designate time and a place for it on my calendar. Time to take a reflection, for maybe I go for a walk. Maybe I journal. Maybe I meet with friends. Things that help remind me of who I am. I call that my belief team. I've spent well over $100,000 of investment into my belief team, coaches, mentors, pastors, those great people that I really acknowledge that have been a huge part of that journey. And you're going to hear from one of them, John Holmes, on a recent podcast episode. Chuck May, David Gerber, Stephen McGee, Gary Mahler, right? Jim Urban, a good close friend of mine, comrade, and a partner in business. Scott Macon, and the list goes on. And it matters to have this belief team, because without this belief, everything else that comes from it that we see on the surface changes. So if I want to have more good in my life, more abundance, more love, if I want to be able to see and experience life like a kid does, with curiosity, with a sense of possibility, limitless thinking, then I need to work on the core belief of where that's coming from. So notice that. Who am I hanging out with? What am I watching? What am I listening? And what am I reading is a big part of that today. So as I close up with this quote, I don't know any other lifestyle. I get up in the morning and I really do feel that the world is my oyster. I start that way. The same as if I were preparing to write a song, put a blank sheet of paper up on the piano and go for it. And that is my encouragement for you today, is start from the place of belief and go for it. Build good and clean your house, clean the clutter, reprogram your heart and your mind, and step into it. I hope, if anything, that's really connected with you today. Reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you about how we can work on the power of belief and really create massive traction in your life. Thank you for listening to the Elevate Up Plus. Please stay tuned for more on lessons from the Sherpa. Happy trails. Hi, my name is Steve C., leadership coach and trusted advisor. Some call me the Sherpa. Most men and women lead lives of quiet desperation. They die with the music still in them. And that's why I created the Second Mountain Project. We know of the first mountain as self-actualization from Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's the second mountain that we're going to touch on. This has to do with our eulogy virtues. There's 3 pillars in this. One is energy. What kind of energy, capacity do you have to give to others at home and work? Second one is our work and our vocation. What's our calling? What do we give to that has more meaning beyond ourselves? And the third one is love. Our world needs more love today, doesn't it? And that's what we're going to spend our focus on, is how do we build up who we're being and becoming in the world today. My coach, Stephen McGee, said, the hardest mountain to climb is the mountain within. And there's 5 core buckets that we're going to dump into over the year together. The first one being our spiritual fitness. The second one being our physical fitness. The third one being our emotional fitness. The fourth, our mental fitness. And 5, our directional fitness. And all 5 buckets are necessary in order for us to be able to climb on the second mountain in a way where we have more capacity, more ability to step into that place. I believe in the idea that we need to be the change that we wish to see in the world today. And as a result of being in this program 1 year together, is you have more fulfillment, more joy, more satisfaction, more buoyancy, and more ability to handle any circumstance that comes our way. So please join me as I look forward to having a conversation with you about how you can be part of the 2025 Elevate Up Tribe. Let's climb higher together. Happy trails.